Zainab was the pride of her family, a quiet, brilliant girl from a humble home in Ibadan. Her father, a retired civil servant, and her mother, a local trader, had labored for years to see her admitted into the prestigious University of Lagos to study medicine. Their prayers had been answered, and Zainab, full of hope and dreams, boarded the bus to Lagos, armed with textbooks, provisions, and her parents' blessings. Her parents believed she would return as Dr. Zainab Adeyemi, the first in the family to wear a white coat. They wept with joy as they waved goodbye, unaware that the city that promised her greatness also held the power to ruin her innocence. Zainab was placed in a hostel with three vibrant, fashionable girls, Sandra, Mimi, and Cassandra. They were the definition of campus celebrities, always dressed in trendy clothes, always laughing, always busy. To Zainab, they were glamorous and confident, everything she wasn't. At first, she kept to herself, immersed in lectures and her anatomy textbooks. But Sandra noticed her and decided to help her loosen up. "You can't just read yourself into a coffin," she joked. Slowly, Zainab started spending more time with them, skipping morning devotions, missing early lectures, and listening to their tales of clubbing and nightlife. It started with small compromises. Zainab followed the girls to a birthday party off campus, promising herself she would leave early. That night, she wore makeup for the first time and borrowed a revealing outfit from Mimi. At the party, the music was loud, the drinks were free-flowing, and a senior student handed her her first glass of wine. One glass turned to three. She danced, laughed, and for the first time, felt something unfamiliar, freedom. But as the dawn broke and she stumbled into the hostel, sick and dizzy, she didn't recognize the girl in the mirror anymore. Zainab began skipping classes. Her name started disappearing from attendance registers, and her scores in continuous assessments dropped. She would tell her parents she was fine, even as guilt gnawed at her. "School is stressful, but I'm coping," she would lie during their weekend calls. Her roommates had now become her world. Clubbing on Thursdays, house parties on Saturdays, and hangovers on Sundays. They introduced her to smoking and weed, and though it made her nauseous at first, she adapted. Slowly, medicine became just a label on her student ID. Her world became one of lies. She told her parents she was in the library while she was actually at a beach party. She deleted messages from concerned classmates and ignored calls from old friends. The Zainab who once prayed every night now rolled her eyes at the sound of a worship song. When a male lecturer hinted at helping her pass in exchange for private favors, she didn't flinch. Her innocence had eroded, and she began seeing compromise as normal. The girl who arrived with dreams was vanishing. During a wild club night in Lekki, Zainab took something stronger than alcohol. Sandra called it a party enhancer. It made Zainab feel euphoric for a few hours, dancing like she was floating. But later, she collapsed in the club bathroom, gasping for air. She woke up in a clinic the next morning with 4 drips in her arm and a nurse frowning beside her. The doctor called it a drug overdose. Her roommates covered for her, claiming it was food poisoning. But something in Zainab cracked that day, an ugly truth staring her in the face. Zainab's academic record plummeted. She failed multiple courses in her second semester and was placed on academic probation. Her department sent a warning letter. She didn't tell her parents. She couldn't. Instead, she partied harder, trying to drown her shame. Her friends started distancing themselves. They said she was becoming too emotional and bringing bad energy. The clique that once welcomed her with fake eyelashes and club invites now sneered behind her back. Mimi spread a rumor that Zainab had slept with a professor for grades. Sandra laughed behind her back about the overdose incident. Cassandra started inviting only other girls to parties. Zainab confronted them, but they dismissed her as paranoid and dramatic. One night, Zainab returned from a failed test to find her belongings scattered outside the room. She had been replaced by a newer, cooler girl. Crying, she slept on a bench in front of the hostel, completely alone. Her mother called one evening, saying, "Zainab, I dreamt you were drowning. Are you okay?" Zainab broke down. For the first time in over a year, she told the truth. Through sobs, she confessed everything: her failures, her lies, the parties, the drugs. Her father didn't shout. Her mother didn't curse. They only wept. "Come home," her father said gently. "Let's start over." Zainab returned home during the semester break. She avoided neighbors and old friends, feeling like a walking disgrace. But her parents welcomed her with love, not judgment. They prayed with her every night and encouraged her to reapply the next academic year. She started attending counseling sessions and volunteered at a local clinic. Her love for medicine slowly returned, not from pressure, but from a genuine desire to heal others the way she longed to be healed herself. Zainab was readmitted to the university the following year. This time, she stayed off campus in a quiet apartment her parents helped rent. She joined the campus Christian fellowship and made new friends, kind ones who valued her growth. Her grades steadily improved. She stayed away from parties, drugs, and anything that reminded her of the pit she had escaped. Though the scars remained, she wore them with grace, reminders of where she had been, and how far she had come. On the day she received her medical degree, Zainab wrote a letter to her 17-year-old self. "You will make mistakes," it began. "But those mistakes will not define you, you're